es so gewesen, dass mein Urgroßvater, mein Großvater daheim gebielt und mein Vater hat gebielt. Und ich habe eigentlich sie nie darum interessiert. Ich habe Bienenstiche nicht gerne gehabt. Und der Vater ist älter geworden. Und dann hat er dann auf einmal gesagt, wenn ich nicht mit den Bienen machen will, bin er die verkaufen. Und das war etwas, was mir nicht gepasst hat. Dann habe ich mich angefangen interessieren darum und habe gedacht, wenn die Altvorderen im Stand waren, Bienen zu haben und Bienenstiche zu ertragen, dann bin ich so. Das heisst, Weichei bin ich nicht.
The bees fed our family. They were a part of my grandfather's cannery. They pollinated the raspberries, pears and apricots and his orchards, and also the cucumbers. I loved my grandfather for all the animals he had, horses, dogs, birds, even a roebuck. But what he loved most were his bees. He had 150 bee colonies. He even built a special house for them. Lying in the grass in his garden, I could hear the bees buzzing. But I didn't know that I was watching the flowers having sex. The plants, my grandfather explained, are rooted to the ground. They can't run across the field and hug each other, but they can't have children on their own. What they need is a messenger of love, a bee. To attract a bee, the plants produce sweet nectar. The bee drinks from one flower and flies to the next, taking along male pollen on its fur. So while looking for food, it pollinates plant after plant. And each plant starts to bear fruit. My grandfather was a patriarch of gardens and bees, people and machines. He was fascinated by how everything interacted. But the bees are in trouble now. A few years ago, they started dying. Not just our bees, they're dying all over the world. The news is full of reports. They say it's a mystery. I take to the road to find out why.
Bloom is nearly full now. It's just such a gorgeous time of year to be out here. I mean, it's just beautiful. And no one sees this. Bee guy sees it. The almond guy sees it. Listen. Now, can you hear that? That's the sound of money. Fresh, printed money. Bees and trees. Nice. Ladies, how are you today? Yeah, you're busy. It's warm, it's sunny. An old maid. It's a nut that didn't get shaken, didn't get hulled. And right there, yum. Delicious.
1/3 of our food wouldn't exist without bees. My grandfather explained their secret to me. Colorful and fragrant plants are pollinated by insects. The plain and dry ones by the wind. The apricots and raspberries on the jam labels were printed by my grandfather. His competitors were more efficient. They had the fruit delivered by rail. My grandfather went bankrupt. All he had left were his bees. They still brought him the nectar. But the apples grew in a paradise he had lost.
It's sort of a Faustian deal that we've made with the almond growers. We know going in that there are risks and opportunities in the almond orchards. You know, they pay a lot of money. I mean, you know, it's no mystery. We've got 4,000 hives here at $150 a hive. That's $600,000. To me, that's real money. That might be Joe Mack. He might be flying down to Bakersfield today.
I think California produces 80%, maybe a little more of the world production in almonds. In terms of the almonds that are actually in trade in the world, it's higher than that. It may be close to 90%. It's not commercial to grow almonds on a very small scale. I know of no reason why that system will not be sustainable for the long term. There's nothing that I've seen in my 35 years in the industry which would lead me to think that that concentration of almonds in one area is self-defeating in some way, that it will somehow crash as a result of being concentrated. I've seen nothing to that to indicate that. Have a business without bees. We would have, without some type of insect pollinator, almonds won't set any crop whatsoever. We've proven that again and again. So our business relies entirely upon pollination by bees.
Unlike bumblebees and butterflies, bees remain true to one type of flower. Some bees fly only to apples, others only to bellflowers. They don't fly to a different type until they've finished the work they started. But here they have no choice. There are only almond trees. Inside the hive, the bees hand over the nectar to their sisters, who chew on it until it turns into honey and store it in empty honeycomb cells. They put the pollen into pollen baskets and store it as a protein reserve. But the returning bees bring back even more information. When I was at school, we watched a silent movie, The Dances of Bees. It was directed by Carl von Frisch, a scientist who received the Nobel Prize for discovering the waggle dance. Bees, he discovered, use the dance to communicate to their sisters. The distance to the best flowers and the direction to fly in. The faster they waggle, the closer the food source. In the darkness of the cinema, the bees were so annoying. It was so hard to comprehend their geometry. They were so awfully clever and complicated. At the Freie Universität Berlin, Professor Menzel is studying the question of whether bees can make decisions. His experiment poses a dilemma for the bees. They already know a food source, but receive information from another bee about a second, perhaps better feeding site. What to do?
Biene fliegt. Konstantin, wir können dann jetzt das Radar einschalten. Ich laufe zur Auflassstelle. Wir sehen jetzt hier, dass die Biene sich entschieden hat, zu ihrer alten Futterstelle zu fliegen. Dann kommt sie an einer Stelle an, da saß früher mal jemand mit einer Futterstelle, da ist aber jetzt gar nichts. Jetzt macht sie einige Suchflüge und fliegt hier herum. Sie fliegt nicht zurück, sondern sie fliegt jetzt schnurstracks nach Osten. Im Osten ist die Stelle, die im Tanz angezeigt worden ist. Hier sitzt jemand, der eine Futterstelle hat, und jetzt kommt sie hier an.
Okay, in die Route 23 ist gerade gelandet und sie trinkt.
Sie fliegt jetzt zurück zum Stock, nicht über den Weg, den sie gelernt hat, auch nicht den Weg, den sie im Tanz mitgeteilt bekommen hat, sondern den Weg, den sie errechnet, irgendwie erschließt. Und jetzt kommt sie hier an. Jetzt ist sie hier am Stock. Wir würden annehmen, dass auch so ein kleines Gehirn, wie das von den Bienen, in der Lage ist, zwei mögliche Ausgänge, sozusagen Ergebnisse des eigenen Verhaltens, das sie noch gar nicht tun, vorherzunehmen und dann zu bewerten und dann zu planen, okay, ich entscheide mich für das und plane jetzt dorthin zu fliegen.
She's a lovely little insect, very tolerant. Not very smart, but really tolerant. 2 weeks from today may look like an orchard to us, but to them, looks like a desert. It's nothing to eat. The almond grower will call me and say, the bloom is over, you may now go. So we do go, because if we leave the bees here, they'll starve. We're about to be run over. Este ribbon? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Starting from the other ribbon, so maybe it'll go a little ways away. If they'll just not spray the bees, that's great, you know? That's great. Because it really, you know, ideally, they'd spray at night. When the bees are in, by the time the material is dried and isn't so lethal, it's the next day if they just spray it at night. But, you know, you can't see at night. They don't know where they are. These fields are massive. They get lost. So they're going to do what they're going to do. It doesn't kill the bees, but it repels the bees. If after this material has dried on the bloom, the bees bring that material back to the colony and feed it to the babies, 19 days later, we see an impact on the brood. We see brood die off. And it's the fungicide at work. And pretty much everybody knows it. That's the only two motivations in life, my friends, greed and fear. I don't know how to shrink a business or a lifestyle and be happy. That's not in my DNA. It's like we're capitalists. We want to grow. Total global domination.
Ja, was? Heute sind die Bienen hier wohl. Da kann der sagen, die haben heute Sonntag. Aber kein Wunder, das geht auch unvorsichtiges Hunger. Die rein Natur, kein Spritzmittel, kein Gift nehmen. Das gibt natürlich Hunger, der wunderbar ist. Da freuen wir mich drauf, dessen vielleicht zu tun. Unsere Bienen sind, kann ich sagen, Jahrhunderten, das ist die Alplandrassen, die sind herklimatisierte. Und ich denke, wenn ich jetzt ein Bienen vom Unterland hernehmen würde das Volk schon mehr zu überwintern, weil wir sind über ein halbes Jahr sind die in der Winterruhe und die ich habe, sind jetzt hier akklimatisiert seit Generationen und darum funktioniert es gut. Ja, schau jetzt. Die müssen wir dann da nicht mehr mit deinem gelben Viertel ab. Heb bloß einen ab. Hat einen Ablegerstand von Uri. Was der für eine Rasse hat, habe ich natürlich keine Ahnung. Und die kommen da schon an. Ja, ja. Die Begattung findet irgendwo in der Luft statt. Und dann kommt der Moment, dass auf diesem Drohnensammelplatz Drohnen von anderen Völkern, von anderen Imkern sich dort treffen. Eine Königin wird mit bis zu 10 Drohnen begattet. Und da kann es dann eben zu einer Vermischung kommen. Was ist für Rasse?
Kannika.
Ich bin da ein bisschen verärgert, dass die Alplandrassen die verschwinden. Ja, die hat so gelbe Ringeln am Viertel.
Ja, eine Landrasse kam mein Vater immer.
Ja, was war die Überlegung, als hast du umgestellt?
Ja, Berndeutsch gesagt, ja, nein, ich muss nicht mit den Litern beilen. Das heisst also, Schwärme einfahren.
Nicht?
Nein. Ich habe 70 Völker und das sind 3, die ich geschwärmt.
Ja, was?
Ja. Nicht mehr. Ich muss also sagen, es kann jeder stechen, der kann nicht, aber ich werde wenig gestochen.
Ja, weil er sagen, die stechen minder als die Landrassen.
Ja, sicher.
Hä?
Ja, wenn ich manchmal ihm helfen, der Landrasse hat, wenn Not am Mann geht, muss ich auch mir sagen, wenn ich mit denen beilen müsste, würde ich hören. Dann würde
Ja,
ich nicht
was
mit
auch.
70 Völkern arbeiten, sicher nicht.
Ja, was auch.
Ich habe keinen Schleier. Ich habe keinen Bein aus dem Schleier.
Ja, was?
Gar nicht. Lege nicht. Würdest du sie nicht Stunde stellen?
Ja, weißt du, ich glaube, ich bin zu alt.
Nein, so alt bist du auch nicht.
Ja, oh, was ist das? Geht hinten ab.
Ja, man ist doch nie wieder zu alt.
Ja, ich weiß nicht.
Mating in the air with drones from other colonies, not in the hive with the bees' brothers, is an ingenious way of protecting against incest. The queen is the mother of all 50,000 bees in the hive. She lays up to 2,000 eggs a day, the equivalent of her own body mass. The other bees tend to her needs, care for her, feed and clean her. When she dies, the bees must raise a new queen. The process is risky and takes a whole month. The queen can lay infertile eggs that develop into drones, male bees, or fertile eggs from which female worker bees emerge. The eggs hatch into larvae, which are fed by the bees with nectar and pollen. Then they seal the lid. The larva pupates, and 3 weeks later a worker bee emerges. The fat male drones take 3 days longer. They'll be fed their whole life long by the worker bees in order to build up their strength for the daily flights. They leave every afternoon around 2 p.m. in the hope of meeting a princess mid-air. Those who don't get a chance on the honeymoon flight are killed by the worker bees in the fall. In winter, drones would just be useless mouths to feed.
Die Königin findet auch eine Reihe in den Grind um. Da ist sie. Du bist fremd gegangen. So geht's dann. Wo gehen am Bändeln uns sieht's.
My grandfather's honey is not a gift from the bees after all. My grandfather steals the honey from the bees and gives them sugar water to store for the winter instead. Like the glass beads the Indians received in payment for their gold. Even more ingeniously, grandfather manipulates them by breeding queens that increase the bees' docility and diligence. More profit, fewer stings. If you want to command the bees, you have to command the queen. She's the key. The bees decide when they want a new queen and build up a special cell for her. Before the princess hatches, the old queen swarms out with the old bees and leaves the hive to the younger generation. The colony turns into 2. Breeders interfere with this process. They take the queen away, which forces the colony to raise a new one. But the new queen is queen by the breeder's grace.
Die Königin legt ein Ei hier in diese Wabe. Nach 3 Tagen schlüpft aus diesem Ei die Made. Und das ist eben der Zuchtstoff, von dem ich eine Königin haben möchte, mit den gleichen Erbanlagen wie die Mutter. Die Bienen ziehen aus diesen ungelauften kleinen Maden Königinnen. Sie glauben jetzt, das war eine Königin, die das da hineingemacht hat. Nur die königliche Made wird gefüttert mit Chili Real, also mit einem Sekret aus der Kopfspeicheldrüse. Und da wird ihm aus der Made, aus der ja normalerweise eine Biene geworden wäre, eine Königin. So, jetzt kommt der belarvte Rahmen in das Pflegevolk. Und ich wünsche mir jetzt und hoffe, dass ich 51 Königinnen von diesem Rahmen bekomme. So, brav sein, Bienen.
The nurse colony is nervous.
Gut.
It has been manipulated by the beekeeper and has neither a queen nor brood. The bees urgently need a new mother for the offspring, or else the colony will be dead within a few weeks. They only need one queen, but in their distress they tend to all the 51 larvae that heaven has sent them. They feed them with royal jelly and build queen cells around them. The first queen that hatches will kill the other ones in their cells. There can only be one queen in the colony. That's why the cells have to be harvested and placed in queenless colonies before they hatch.
Da sieht man schon, dass die Königin die Beine bewegt. Also die schlüpft jetzt in den nächsten Stunden. Und jetzt wird sie hier bei der Brutwabe beim Honig festgeklebt und schauen, dass die Bienen da unten dazukommen. Die Königin öffnet mal nur ein kleines bisschen den Zelldeckel, reicht den Rüssel heraus, lässt sich von den Bienen füttern, solange sie noch in der Zelle ist, und kommt dann schon praktisch gestärkt zur Welt. Da sieht man es. Da schau! Siehst du den Brunnen?
The drone dies during the mating ceremony. When the queen returns from her maiden flight, she keeps 5 million sperms in her sperm bag. In there, they can stay alive for 8 years.
Da ist die Königin. So.
Sobald die Königin Eilage und verdeckelte Brut im Kästchen hat, wird sie dem Kästchen entnommen und kommt dann zum Versand.
Das ist Nitro-Autolack. Es ist jedes Jahr eine andere Farbe. Man findet jetzt erstens die Königin schneller im Stock und dann weiß man gleich, wie alt sie ist.
Und die Königin bekommt für ihre Reise, die geht jetzt irgendwo hin in die Welt, trägt sie natürlich ihren eigenen Hofstaat mit.
Jetzt kommt ein Rauchstoß, weil die Königin nach dem Lack jetzt riecht. Und jetzt noch Wasser. Jetzt lecken sie sich gegenseitig ab und jetzt ist Freundschaft geschlossen und jetzt ist alles in Ordnung.
60 Euro, danke.
Eine Preisliste. So. Die Rechnung.
Singer queens are sold to 58 countries, as well as artificial swarms, 4 to 6 pounds of loose bees in a box, with a separately packed queen.
Innsbruck ist das. Morgen früh sicher durch. Es ist morgens sicher durch. Passt.
Before the settlers came, there weren't any honeybees in America. But the colonists wanted to cultivate the prairie and grow fruit and vegetables. To pollinate them, they needed bees. New colonies have to be imported or cultivated on a regular basis.
I am a migratory beekeeper. In practice, it means we go where the bees have the most opportunity to thrive. That takes us across America. In the course of a year, we go from California, where the almonds and the cherries begin the season in early spring, February. We then go to Washington State for apple pollination, apricot pollination, cherry pollination in late March and April. We move the entire outfit to North Dakota for summer. All of the bees go for honey production in the summer. By October 1st, we've begun to close the circle, moving the colonies back west for winter. So in the course of a year, it's one big circle.
Miles from California to North Dakota. We try to transport the bees in 2 days and spend one night on the road. The less time the bees spend on the truck, the better and the healthier they'll be. The bees can't fly outside their hives when we're trucking them to like go to the bathroom. So the longer they have to stay in their box and hold their potty, the more unhealthy they'll be. And it's stressful, and it's not natural for the bees to be on a truck. So the sooner we get them off the truck better it's going to be.
The breaks are short. Without any airstream, it gets too hot inside the boxes. On the plantations, 1.5 million bee colonies interact. 2/3 of all the bees in the USA. And they infect each other with diseases and parasites. The diseases travel along with them all the way across America. Nosema is an intestinal parasite and eats the bee from the inside. Wax moths destroy the honeycomb. Foul brood kills the larvae. But the most dangerous of all is a mite. Its name is Varroa destructor. Its brooding site is the bee's own brood cells. The young mites infest the larvae as well as cling to adult bees, ram their jaws between the rings of the bee's body and suck the bee's blood. In the human world, these bloodsuckers will be the size of a rabbit. Viruses invade the body through the open wounds, deforming the bee's wings.
Okay, there's very few bees here. This is trouble. So let's have a look. There are no bees. This is what we don't like. Classic colony collapse disorder. A queen, 20 friends, and nothing else. This is a total loss, and we don't know why. Just gone. Plenty of pollen, plenty of nectar, no evidence of brood. I'm getting real comfortable with death on an epic scale. I don't like it. It doesn't burn and it doesn't sting like it used to. You know, it used to be like, oh God, it's death in the family. And now it's just something we gotta fix. It's just, you know, I gotta fix it. I don't have time to take it personally. I know this hive didn't mean to die. I don't know why it died, but I can't fix it. I just gotta move on. I can't mourn the loss of this hive. It's just part of the game.
Right, we got 365 out of 456.
456?
456 inbound. It's right at 20%.
That's our worst load.
Yeah, worst one yet. But the ones that are here look good. So hopefully the next ones aren't that bad.
That's 90 duds.
91.
I am backed into a corner, and I fight back with what I have. Chemicals.
After the stressful journey, the bees are given sugar water, mixed with antibiotics. In Europe, North America and China, the honeybee can no longer survive without drugs.
Okay. Let's start the program. Dieses gelbe Neuron teilt dem Gehirn nicht nur mit, das war eine Belohnung. Es teilt auch mit, dass es gut ist, was gerade sich abspielt. Und es gibt andere Neurone, die zuständig sind für Schrecken oder Abwehr.
But the 50,000 little brains network in a superorganism, which is more than just a bustling brown mass. It's 50,000 members of a family, the population of a medium-sized town. Each bee, depending on its age, has a designated role. No one gives commands, and yet everyone obeys. Even the honeycomb is a part of this sophisticated system. A communication network full of information passed on in the dark hive of odors. I can imagine what a colorblind person misses out on, but not what the world looks like through one's nose. The bees have 60,000 smell receptors on each of their antennae, which allows them to smell in stereo. They also have gustatory hair on their legs. As they walk across the honeycomb, they receive a three-dimensional odor image of the colony's condition. Where's the queen? Are enough eggs being laid? Are sufficient stocks being stored? Without its colony, the individual bee cannot survive. It must subordinate its personal freedom for the good of the colony. In each bee family, up to 2,000 bees die every day. and 2,000 new ones are born. Could it be that the individual bees are like the organs or cells of a body? Is the superorganism as a whole the actual animal?
Die wirklich spannende Frage ist, im sozialen Kontext ist also so ein komplexer Organismus wie ein Bienenvolk hinsichtlich seiner emotionalen Stimmung ein geregeltes System. Und wir würden sagen, ja, das Bienenvolk als Ganzes hat auch Gefühle.
When the bees swarm out, the colony is divided into two. A commercial beekeeper beats the bees to it and turns one colony into 4 to replace dead colonies.
Brood. Honey. Eggs. Oh, everybody needs somebody that they can talk to. Someone to open up their ears and their troubles too. Now you don't have to sympathize or share what they might do, but everybody needs somebody that they can talk to.
Each colony is split up. Eggs, brood, and honeycomb are allocated to 4 empty boxes like spare parts, thus mixing them with other colonies. Most of the queens die in the process. New queens are delivered by FedEx and placed in the hives.
Things have changed rapidly. We don't keep bees the way my dad did. My grandfather would probably walk from this property disturbed if he saw the way we keep bees today. He'd think, my God. You've lost your soul in husbandry of the hive and the care and the compassion and the keeping of the hive. He would say we've sacrificed our relationship with the colony, but it was probably easier to maintain that relationship with the hive. Because he was running, what, 1,500 hives? We're running 10 times that. You know, we have 10 times the employees, we have 10 times the property, we have 10 times the square foot of plant and equipment. We have 10 times the trucks with 10 times the power with 10 times the cost.
The black bees have raised a new queen without yellow stripes. On her mating flight, she never left the narrow valley. Her daughters are once again racially pure.
haben. Ja, der erste Blick ist nicht schlecht. Aber ein bisschen geringe Freude. Ach, Scheisse, Fred.
Was siehst du? Nicht schön.
Das ist nicht schön. Joey, das ganze Töpfchen, ganz extrem.
Ja.
Das ist ein Bilderbuch, Sauerbrotwaben, hast du da? Ich hoffe, das sei der einzige. Ja, der hier, weißt du? Das gefällt mir nicht. Die haben den Boden nicht geputzt, das gefällt mir nicht.
Das hat mir nicht gegeben, ich weiß nicht.
Ach, Scheisse, der Siehst du es?
Mhm, ich sehe es.
Das Volk ist verloren, Fred.
Das schmeckt mir.
Jetzt schmeckt es,
Das schmeckt mir, jawohl.
Weißt du, wenn man schmeckt, haben wir einen starken Befall. Ich finde mich gerade die Frage, ob wir gerade vorbereiten für die Schwefel.
Weiss man eigentlich, wo das in Sauerbrot
Wie
kommt?
das sind Bakterien, hoch ansteckend. Aber woher das jetzt um die Hest heimgeflogen, Raub?
Ja, und das so.
Du, das tut mir leid für dich.我们刚开始弄啊，就是开车去的，是在陕西 离这大约2000多公里。开车去的话，估计得就是2个司机换开，得2天2宿才能到，是吧？挺远的。然后去了以后，得租一个场地，非常大的场地，非常大的场地，还有晾花、晒花什么的。等到花开那个季节，抓紧时间收农民手里的花。到手里以后，立即就加工。开车去，开车回来，带着冰箱。过一段时间一擦冰箱，所以过一段时间就要一到吃饭时间重新擦冰箱什么的，这样同时可以保持冰箱内温度，这样是成活率要高一些。然后如果快开花了，就赶紧像这样装的，好送给农民，农民好用啊。
Mao once ordered that the sparrows be killed because they robbed the people of grain. Billions of sparrows were killed. The result was a plague of insects. It was fought with insecticides. The bees also fell victim.
啊，好，你好。数一下多少？
你要50颗得了。
行。
啊，今年肥也不多，多了我也没有。
行，卖掉再拿吧。
嗯，
好。
那个现在是，给你是4块钱1颗，然后你就卖5块。这会儿正好，再数一下。有钱就给。啊，弄个塑料袋装。
15、16、17、18、19。
Rumor has it that Einstein once said, "If the bees ever die out, mankind will follow 4 years later." I take a trip to the future. I'm astonished to find regions in China where they use so many chemicals that all bees have disappeared. They're not sure whether to let me watch or not. No other country can afford to ask itself the question currently being posed at the University of Beijing. Who's better at pollinating, man or bees? Science answers with a definite, not man.
Here's what we've worked for all summer long. We see this abundance of honey, beautiful, beautiful summer honey. It's done. Off, off. Hey, mine. They don't like sharing too much. My thought was taste it. Yeah, that's good. That's real good. That's right straight out of the hive. It's traumatic. It's hard on them. They don't understand it. So they've been flying in the fields for months undisturbed, and now suddenly someone came and blew smoke in their face and took the boxes off and scraped their top bars and handled them roughly, and now the lid's back on, and the hive is a lot smaller than it used to be.
It's a 4 to 5 week lifespan. A single bee produces about 1 teaspoon of honey. For 2 pounds of honey, a colony has to fly 3 times around the world. Bees filter out the toxins with their own bodies. They've sacrificed themselves so that the brood eats only the purest of honey. But traces of pesticides and drugs remain. How many Chinese migrant workers does it take to replace the bees? It took 4 billion bees a whole month to produce these mountains of almonds. Even vegetarians depend on industrial animal husbandry. What's causing the bees to die? Looking for clues, I come across the divine promise of growth we learned in Sunday school. Be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it. The massive death of bees is no mystery. What's killing them is not pesticides, mites, antibiotics, incest or stress, but a combination of all those factors. They are dying as a result of our civilization's success, as a result of man, who has turned feral bees into docile domestic animals, wolves into delicate poodles. But why do the bees put up with it? We flew around the world 4 times to make this film. On one of the last flights, while looking out of the window, I remembered a story from Alice in Wonderland. The story of the Red Queen. The Red Queen grabs Alice by the hand and runs off with her, and on until Alice is gasping for air. Faster, faster, the Queen cries. The wind almost blows the hair off Alice's head, but the world around her stands still, as if the trees and buildings were running too. Faster, the Red Queen cries out until Alice falls down exhausted. She looks around and says, "But we've been under this tree the whole time. Everything just as it was." "Of course it is," the Red Queen replies. "It takes all the running you can do to keep in the same place."
One of the first people to pull up to the scene, the Lakeville fire chief, couldn't figure out why there was a cloud around the accident when there was nothing on fire.
It was a haze, a black haze around the whole scene, and I was going, I just had never quite seen anything like that.
Didn't know he drove right into a swarm of bees. Stung in the face a few times immediately, he ordered his crews to wear full turnout gear for protection.
14 people have died in the U.S. since 2004 after being attacked by swarms of killer bees.
Killer bees first escaped from a Brazilian breeding experiment, then migrated through Central America and Mexico, along the way gaining a deadly reputation, allegedly killing hundreds of people.
Killer bees are a cross between European and African bees. Their correct name is Africanized honeybee. 26 swarms escaped from a lab in the University of Sao Paulo. Are the bees finally striking back, or are they helpless in the hour of need?
Hey, Rebo.
Hey, Fred.
Came to get your bees. So, we're gonna have to take off this soffit here.
You did say I'd get a suit, right?
Yeah, you'll get a suit.
All
I have a
right,
suit.
Fred. You're my friend.
In 1992, a local minister called me to his home. He said, "I want you to come get my bees," because his neighbor had put in an exercise ring for his horses. And so the bees that were on his property were stinging the horses and the people on the horses, because the horses were making a lot of noise and vibrating the earth, and of course bees don't like that. So I went over dressed like this with no protection whatsoever. I think I was wearing a short sleeve shirt because I was used to working with the European bees, and I thought that this won't be too big of a problem. But I got over there, and of course it was. The bees were much more ferocious than any I had ever seen previously. I wasn't sure exactly what they were, but I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll find the queens and I'll put in nice new queens, because these bees are just too mean. And so I put in a gentle queen, and the bees killed her, immediately killed her, and they raised their own queen. It's always a good idea to pee first.
Okay.
Yeah, before we get the bees excited.
Oh, yeah.
So if you need to go, now is the time.
No, I think I'm pretty good.
You pretty good? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Ready, Fred? Ready.
You're down just a tad.
Beautiful, beautiful nest.
Yeah, it is. Look at that. Perfect rows.
Yeah.
It filled the cavity.
Yeah, Rebo, these are your killer bees.
The honey flow's been on. You can see that cone's real fresh, and the stuff further back is root cone.
Yeah.
Look at it. It's beautiful. Looks good even in the bucket.
But you know, Rebo, if you had lived in Tucson 15 years ago, somebody might have charged you $1,000 to take this out. At the time, I had mites, parasitic mites. And so I thought, these really vicious hives, I won't treat them, and so the mites will kill them. The mites did not kill them. These hives thrived with no treatment, whereas my gentle treated hives did not do very well at all. And so I began to think, maybe there's something to these bees. At the time, I was thinking maybe these were African bees. I didn't tell anyone because I was afraid of what might happen if I did. Some nice brood. Now this.
Oh yeah, the yellow has got
Yeah.
the brood.
Where is our box, Rebo?
Yeah. Oh, I see. That's what the string is
Yeah,
for.
that's what the string is for.
That's what the bears get in the hives for, huh, Fred?
Yep.
Not looking for the honey, they're looking for the brood. There we go. Pour them in the hive?
Yeah, pour them in.
Queen may well be in this bunch right here.
Lid on.
It's quite a bit heavier than just the honey that we put in there.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much a few bees weigh.
Let's put it just on the edge here. Want to make sure.
Scoot them off the bottom?
Yeah, there any bees on the bottom?
Not many.
Okay,
Give it
good.
a sweep.
I think we're in good shape.
Americans are always afraid of being invaded. If not illegal immigrants, then killer bees.
I do have to wear a bee suit now. I do have to work my bees much more carefully, but it's easily worth it. I know that they do make more honey, and they make honey that doesn't have any chemicals in it. So that means an awful lot to me.
Looking good. Lots of drones.
The bees are not really native to Australia. They arrived with the first settlers, and over time some of them of course escaped and they got established. So we have honeybees that can survive without any human help, which is very different from Europe, China and Northern America. So if we collect males, just what Rodolfo is doing up there at the moment, we can basically study the queen genes, because the males are clonal variants from the queen. And I always refer to our feral bees here in Australia as a big bank account. The bank account where you don't have money on it. We have basically genetic variation, we have genes on it, and with the work which we do here at the moment, we basically try to withdraw some of our assets and to use them for future bee breeding.
Well done.
Right.
Can we have a look?
Yep.
Oh, excellent. Look at this. It's really nice. Yeah, they're very lively.
The bees still have a grip on my family. Now my grandchildren are fascinated by them. What will they be eating when they themselves become grandfathers? My daughter and son-in-law are doing research on the bee's immune system at the University of Western Australia.
Maybe the quiet one, Andrew, the ones that are still. Yeah, these guys.
In a gesture of welcoming, they burn my bee suit.
Push him in.
I could have brought in germs from my trip. This is where the last healthy bees live, a continent without the Varroa mite.
Yes?
Oh, gut.
Ganz Mama Biene, Mama Biene.
Nein, das ist Papa Biene. Mama Biene sind drin.
Domesticated queens are inseminated with the sperm of feral bees. To eliminate the risk of what happened in Brazil, the Australian test bees are brought to an uninhabited island where they'll undergo a stress test. If they pass the test, they'll continue to be bred, perhaps even for the world market. They might, of course, mutate into Frankenstein bees, but at least they won't do any harm. It's too far from the mainland. But maybe the bees on the mainland become diseased, and only the ones here on the island stay healthy. In that case, I see Noah's Ark.
Was wir denken, was speziell wichtig ist, ist die genetische Vielfalt innerhalb von diesen Bienen. Also dass man versucht, nicht auf einen Punkt zuzuzüchten und fortlaufend Gen- und genetische Vielfalt zu verlieren, sondern dass man fortlaufend probiert, wieder neue Varianten in die Bienenpopulationen zu bringen. Die Killerbienen haben mit grosser Sicherheit ein besseres Immunsystem, aber wir können keine Wölfe um uns herum halten, weil wir wollen mit diesen Bienen zusammenleben. Das heisst, es bleibt uns nichts anderes übrig, als einen Kompromiss zu suchen zwischen Killerbienen und der Bienen, die wir im Moment züchten, dass beide nebeneinander herleben können.
We seem to be afraid of foreigners coming into the country, even though we're all immigrants here. And so the African bees came, they didn't have papers, they didn't have permission, they didn't have visas or even passports. And there was really nothing we could do to stop them. They're completely wild creatures. They have not been domesticated. They are as they have always been. And people were very frightened of that. And then when I went to Brazil in 1995, I found that the country had completely embraced the African bee, that what we had been told about the African bees, that they didn't make honey, that they were not good pollinators, they were impossible to manage, I found that all of those things were completely false. They can survive on very scarce resources. If I were a gambling person, I would bet on the survival of the African bees over just about any other species. So I think they'll be here after we're gone. The bees that I took out from the roof did not like their new nest, and so they left. They swarmed. They will find a limb on a tree or something like that where they can cluster to take care of the queen. From that cluster, the bees will send out scout bees to look for a suitable nest site. If a scout bee finds a suitable nest site, she will come back to this cluster of bees and she will tell her nest mates about the very good site. And then when they reach a consensus, then they will all leave together. Not even a bear could get to those bees.